Alrighty, so we have Ed Herman versus Alonzo Menifield. So breaking down the striking of these two. So for Menifield, he's a powerhouse. Everything's with intent. I mean, just look at the guy. He's insanely built. Like, he's a unit. He's got a big speed advantage here over Ed Herman. Ed Herman quite slow, kind of plants his feet and then fires a combination. Doesn't move his feet too much. Pretty flat-footed, lumbers around the octagon. Likes the counter left hook to Ed Herman, and he likes the low calf kick. So if you can get the low calf kicks going, then I think that would be a good weapon against Menifield. Menifield likes the big step in left hook. He likes to use his, athleticism to close distance, and then, his fast hands in the pocket. He likes the overhand right, or the two at distance. He does overextend quite often, and in turn he just kind of clinches up, just kind of falls into the clinch, and that overextension kind of, the momentum just takes him into the clinch, where he isn't as active. And Ed Herman, he's pretty active in the clinch, he's throws knees to the body, tries to break the posture, throw knees to the head. He's definitely more active in the clinch than Menifield. Menifield just tries to, recover there, really. He just tries to catch his breath and not really do too much, just kind of hold you against the fence. He doesn't do too much in the clinch, so I'm not sure why he clinches up so often. With Menifield, he doesn't move his head too much either. He just kind of eats jabs. Herman doesn't really throw jabs, so, but it's just something to watch out for. He just kind of eats jabs, doesn't move his head at all, doesn't really see the jab coming. How these guys win fights, so for Menifield, he's got raw power, and he's got good takedown defense, just insta-sprawl, pretty much. If you fake a takedown shot, he'll just insta-sprawl. Like, he's got a good sprawl, very athletic, obviously. But, good takedown defense in general, I'd say. How Ed Herman wins, he's quite durable. It's probably going to wear off soon. He's nearly 41 years old, so it's definitely not going to stick around forever. But it's what he's relied on throughout his career, so, somehow he's strung together 3 wins. But yeah, he's very experienced. A prime example of that is in the Mike Rodriguez fight. That was a veteran move, faking that, realizing the situation, realizing that the ref thought it was a nut shot, and just milking it. And that was smart. That was very smart. That was a veteran move. But he's just very experienced. He's been in a lot of situations in the octagon, and he's not too often you're showing him something new. How these guys lose fights, so for Menifield, he's got poor fight IQ, engaging in the clinch so much with Clark. After seeing that Clark just literally wanted no part of the stand-up fight, he just started engaging Clark in the clinch for some reason. Also just fighting OSP at kickboxing range, what was that? You're just giving him away into the fight. You got to put the pressure on, fight as you normally do, and then, get in the pocket. But, what do you call it? He also slows after round 1 in a high-paced fight. For Ed Herman, he's quite slow, he's quite hittable, plodding, poor takedown defense. Ibrahimov Cadiz, he was at death's door with his cardio, and he still grounded him with 2 of the laziest single legs I've ever seen. So he has really bad takedown defense. Pass to victory for these two. So for Alonzo, look to start fast. I think that's where you're best. If you feel like you can get him out of there, keep going. But if he's taking your shots easily, then just start to pace yourself and, pick your entries after that. But, I think it could be good to start fast in this one. That's when you're most dangerous, and, I have my concerns about Ed Herman's chin. But just fight the urge to enter the clinch. Unless you're going to work for a takedown from the clinch, then, don't engage in the clinch. Look to take him down and land heavy ground and pound if you do get on top. And for Ed Herman, look to take him into deep waters. Try to initiate a lot of clinch battles. Then look for knees to the body in the clinch. Try and, drain that gas tank. Look to fake takedown shots and then clinch up from there, because, as I said before, he does have a heavy sprawl when you do try and fake a takedown shot. So yeah, try and fake the takedown shot, then you can close the distance after that when he's much less, dangerous, when he's pretty much on the ground. Or just, try and jump on his sprawl. Clinch work, obviously try and get into the clinch. Look for the low calf kicks. He has a very low base, and Ed Herman doesn't mind throwing the low calf kick. So yeah, how I see it going, Alonzo, he's very powerful, and Ed is just too easy of a target for me to not pick Alonzo by KO in round 1. But it gets really interesting if it does go past the first round. Herman slows as well, but he's the more active one in the clinch, and that's where I expect a lot of the action in later rounds to happen, is in the clinch. So yeah, it could get dicey there, and he could definitely outwork Alonzo. Herman's a vet though, you know, and taking Menifield into deep waters is likely what he's going to look to do. But, you know, the dude's nearly 41. He's taken a lot of damage in his career. I don't know how much longer his chin's going to hold up, but Alonzo fucking cracks hard too. Don't expect Ed to have too much success with his wrestling unless Alonzo is very fatigued. Maybe around the 10-minute mark. Maybe then start looking for takedowns. But, you know, Alonzo's takedown defense is top notch, like even when he is tired. My hot take for this one is that Menifield puts him out in under 60 seconds. But, you know, I could absolutely see some vet type win from Ed Herman taking him into deep waters, but I think Menifield's going to dust him pretty quickly. Alrighty, so if you guys could please like the video and all that good stuff, helps the channel get pushed, helps it show up in the search bars and all that kind of stuff, so it means a lot. It's a pretty simple thing, but it goes so far, so thanks for doing that. So I got Menifield. I think he puts him out in round 1. As I said before, probably I got him in the first 60 seconds is what I'm feeling, but, you know, I don't want to bet him at this price. Too much juice for a guy like Menifield. Yeah, I just don't want to pay that price. I wouldn't want to bet Herman either. Maybe if, like, Herman's making Alonzo work, or Alonzo's come in with a stupid game plan, he's, like, pushing him against the fence and shit, then I'd take Herman, even if it was, like, evens after round 1. And Alonzo like edge the first round, I would probably take Herman to win the next 2 because, yeah, I think he has a bit of gas tank, more experience, better at fighting through fatigue. So yeah, I would have Herman after round 1, and that's probably what I'm looking at in this fight.